Hi everybody, it's the Retro Yuki once again, giving you guys my very first ever game development talk for my game development channel. So I usually do these talks for my game streaming channel, but this will be the first time I'm bringing the idea to the game development channel. So today I would like to talk about why it took like 8 months for the next update video, prior to the one I just uploaded on Tuesday of this week. So we'll be talking about why it took it 8 months for the new one, with talking points about the game mechanics I was going for, balancing the game, thinking about you guys, the players, how I'm going to be transparent with you in the upcoming future, and some final thoughts. And as you can already see on your right side of your screen, some potential dates. I'll be talking about why I chose those dates for these upcoming events. I will warn you, all dates that you see on your right side of the screen are subject to change with notice, of course, with notice. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the social media. I'll actually be talking about the social media as well as part of transparency in just a few minutes from now. So let's talk about first some of the game mechanics that I was going for, then what I decided to do and not to do. So back in like last year, when I first started developing what was called Project Innocence, now called Kindness War at the beginning, one of the mechanics I wanted to go for was the summoning cards. Originally, I wanted to do a summoning system for the game, and the idea was supposed to be where you can summon particular angels into your battle to help you out. Now, the reason why I decided not to go for it at one point is because it was too much to track for the player. You had to track around like two types of cards. You had kindness cards, and you had, I believe, friendship cards at one point. So I decided not to go for it for the summoning system altogether. I will tell you though, some good news, it will return in a future game. So don't count that out yet. Alright? So there will be a summoning system, it's just not in this one. Not just not in Kindness War at the beginning. Alright? Now then we go fast forward a few months after like the last update video. I started working on something called Magic Stones. Now at the time, Magic Stones were supposed to be used for skill currency. Now we have technically 3 skill currencies in play, although it's not implemented as such. The first one is HP, health points, TP, MP, and then you had to have magic stones. Originally, that was supposed to be the plan. Um, I decided after like further development and like what I was thinking of, I decided not to go for it for the magic stones. That is, first off, part of that development period, I was actually having like a meter. There was supposed to be like a stone icon, and there was supposed to be a meter where if you fill it up, you get like 2 magic stones, and then it restarts again. The mechanic was derived. The mechanic was inspired by a mechanic in Tales of Graces. Excuse me, Tales of Berseria, I should say, not Graces. Where if you fill up the meter, you get a bonus on top of that. So, but because of complexity, I decided to drop the magic stones altogether, and instead I picked up Yanfly's plugin for the skill rewards, which I will talk about in just a few minutes here in our balancing area. But I'll talk about that. Then a few months ago, a few like 2 months ago, actually a few days ago, I should say, not a few months ago, I started thinking about different different character classes like the ranger, the mage, the warrior, who's who if that characters. So two of the characters you're gonna play as in this mechanic build, hopefully soon, are Tanya and Tony. Both of them are rangers. They can shoot long-range weapons like the bow and arrow, rifle, bullets, all that good stuff. So I'm thinking about the rangers, but I'm also thinking about the other characters. The rangers are known to have those long-range weapons, and the real reason why I picked up ammo as the mechanic here and the arrows and the bullet counter is so that you don't use them infinitely in an infinite fashion. So so you do now have a bullet counter and you have an arrow counter as part of the game. So right now the cap is 99 bullets and 99 arrows, like default. However, if I feel that you guys are gonna want more, then I'm gonna raise that cap maybe to 200 of each. But don't no promises. And there's no promises with the raise of the cap. It's only because I want to see what you guys would like. So if 99 is enough, then I'm going to stay at 99. If you want me to raise that by 100, then I'll do that. 100 is more reasonable than 99. I mean, excuse me, 100 is more reasonable than 1000. So I want to make sure you guys have some strategy going into the ammo system as well as the moves of the ranger. You also might have noticed something else that I forgot to point out during the update video just a few days ago on Tuesday. One of the things I forgot to point out was if you have Tanya wearing the bow and arrow, or you have Tony wearing the pistol, both of them use the two different currencies, like the bullets or the arrows. Here's the catch: if you have a bow and arrow, you cannot use the bullets, and if you have your pistol, you cannot use the arrows. So both skills, the triple shot and the triple arrow, require either the bow or the pistol or a weapon of some sort, respectively, so that you don't go tap into the other currency by accident. So that's why I had to stop it there with tapping into others' currency. So pay attention to that. I just forgot to point it out during the video. Now let's move on into our balancing section of today's talk. So balancing in terms of the game. You don't want a character or an enemy to be too high level or too low level, also known as OP or UP. I mean, yeah, OP and UP, overpowered and underpowered. I don't think UP is a word, it is an acronym, but I'm just gonna go with it. So I had to balance out the HP and the other stats of the characters and the players, the characters and the enemies. So I had to go 20, 10, 15, no, 4, 5, and all those numbers. Then I had to make sure that I test everything in the formula. I'll talk about that later. And the damage formula, making sure everything is correctly calculated, and to see the damage output based on those formulas that I placed in the editor. This is why I think it's important to talk about the damage formula as part of transparency, which I will talk about in just a few minutes. But yes, enemies and players need to be balanced in a way that it makes sense. You do not want the mage to to take to take you want it you the mages always take more damage than everybody else. Warriors take the hit anyway, and other classes can do some other cool stuff. But I have to balance it. Which brings me to another plugin that I picked up. Yanfly's enemy level system. enemy levels is what the plugin is called, which I plan to do a tutorial eventually in the future. This plugin did wonders in the game in terms of balancing. Normally, when you defeat an enemy, you get EXP, experience points. But when you get experience points, you always level up. The enemies never level up. Beyond Fly's plugin, the enemy levels, changes that. They level up every time you level up. For example, let's say your characters have an average level of 4. An average level of 4, let's say characters are average level of 4. You have to take every level character divided by how many characters are in the party. So with an average level of 4 for your party, the enemy in this case could be a level 5 or a level 3, somewhere in that area, so that it's not too overpowered and it's not too easy. That's why I decided to pick up this this plugin from Missy on Fly. Now that everybody corrected me on the thing, so that's why I picked up that particular plugin, the enemy level system. So that's what is going on with the video for the update a few days ago. Then we have a few parts of the thing called rewards, skill rewards and drops. So in the update video, this one, the recent one, I had to think about a few things. Number one, what can the enemies drop in terms of rewards? Then number two, how is it rewarding? How rewarded is the player if they get these particular items I'm giving them? And number three, the chances of each item dropping after per battle. So in the video, you got to see me drop. You got to see the enemies drop angel tokens, bullets, and arrows. Now, not every enemy is going to do that, however. I'm just testing it out to see what the feedback would be when it comes to the enemy drops. Angel tokens are the currency, of course. Bullets and the arrows are for the rangers. How many arrows and how many bullets would it take to be rewarding for that particular battle? Would 10 bullets or 10 arrows be too much if the enemy is only level 4 or level 3 or 2, etc.? So those are the questions I'm thinking about when using the plugins for the drops. Same thing for skill rewards, everybody. Now, I don't think you got to see it on this particular update video because we did not have a fire skill player, unfortunately. However, fire, the skill fire, currently is the only one with a reward, skill reward, but I'm going to add more. And the reward for defeating an enemy with fire is 70 HP added to the character that defeated the enemy. So you get rewarded for that. Now, similarly with adjusting rewards for like stats for HP and other things, I also have to balance out the reward. You could get a refund if you miss. Like let's say you missed a attack, you're gonna get a refund of that item, so that it's fair. So I want to make it fair for you guys to play. It's not just, oh, I lost my item, or I want my item back. I wish I had my item back. With that in mind, that's why the skill rewards plugin came in play, because I wanted to make sure I reward even the bad gameplay. Good gameplay I'll reward even though. Bad gameplay, depending on the situation, I will reward as well. If you miss an attack, I'll probably refund your item. Or if you get a critical hit, I could give you a bonus like a buff or a state or something in that matter. So watch it for the next update video, because I might drop something. No pun intended. And finally, the skill damage formulas in terms of balancing. Skill damage formulas, I have to make sure that when balanced correctly, I get to make sure that the damage output is respective to the level and to the characters, to the level and what the level of the enemies are. I don't, again, we don't want to make it too overpowered, and we don't want to make it too underpowered. It's it's just like how I said earlier about balancing the stats of the characters and the enemies as well. So that's why I think skill damage formulas are more important than just pressing the play button or the publish button in this case. Because you want to make sure the enemies are going to be good to play, the characters are going to be good to play, and you're going to be satisfied when you defeat an enemy that is on your level or just above your level. So that's why I want to make sure I touch on skill damage formula. The next section I'm going to be talking about is thinking about the players. So when I'm thinking about the players, I'm not just talking about the game itself. I'm also thinking about other questions that you guys might have in terms of a game development standpoint. Like, let's just say you are asking me a question about a game and what I think and all that good stuff. So the first question that I'm always going to ask myself, as a developer, of course, what would players feel if a developer's first game is too easy or too hard? That's one of the questions I'm always thinking about when I'm developing the game. I want to make it to a level that's not easy or hard, just right. It's like the Goldilocks. You have to think about the Goldilocks story. The Goldilocks, too soft, too hard, or just right. We want it just right, or just above it, or just below. Something for the first game. Then I want to make sure that the game is accessible to all players. And when I mean all players, I mean two things. There's three ways to play an RPG Maker MV game as of 2020. You have a controller, you have a mobile phone, because RPG Maker MV does allow you to do mobile phone, and a keyboard or like tablets and stuff. One of the features that was presented in the mechanic update video a few days ago was a feature called services. Kindness services is what I'm going to call it from now on. Where on the keyboard you press the number 1. You press the 1 key to activate the services. But what happens on a keyboard, on a mobile phone or a controller? The controller, in terms of what I was using, I was actually using this little guy. I was not using a PS3 controller for the game development area. Not only just for show, but it's also because some players of RPG Maker MV would want to play an RPG Maker MV game with a controller in mind. And one of the solutions was to add a menu item called services in the main menu. Now, it did appear in number 1. I'm going to change that to somewhere down the list, just so that it makes sense. However, the intent was to make sure that you can access kind of services without the keyboard, with a controller, and with a mobile phone. It's in the main menu, so you can access the menu called services. Okay. The other thing is, I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to play, either by downloading or by multiple ways. Okay. So that's why it's like that. Then my second question to ask myself: will the players appreciate the challenges placed in the game? The challenge is placed in the game, and it's not just about the skills or like items, all that good stuff. One of the other things I'm gonna put in the game eventually are like puzzles. Every role-playing game has some type of puzzle for you guys to solve, and I want to make sure that this puzzle I'm going to be putting into the game is going to be somewhere in the middle, not easy, not hard, just right. And I think you saw a little bit of it in my latest update video. I just didn't want to solve it because I want you to solve it. But I'm not going to show you the solution. I'm just going to give you a guide to the solution. That's how we're going to be doing it. It's like me being a teacher, but I'm not going to give you the answer. So that's what I'm going for. Can I teach you to the point where I can guide you to the right answer to a puzzle solution in the game without spoiling the answer itself? Okay? That's what I'm thinking of. And how much can you appreciate the guide in terms of the game to reach the final solution of a puzzle? So that's what I'm thinking of, guys. And there's other questions I've been thinking about while developing this new update video for you guys. So I hope you appreciate all that good stuff I just talked about. The next point I want to touch on is something called transparency. Now, transparency. Now, me talking about all this stuff I've been talking about is transparent because I am talking about it to you guys. I am making sure you guys get some information about what's been going on, why it took 8 months. So that's why I'm doing this talk for you guys. Now, what other parts of transparency am I going to implement for the game? First off, the website. It's coming up soon, so don't worry about that. It's coming up soon. But I want to give you guys a preview of what to expect when it comes to the website in terms of content. One of the things I'm going to bring to you guys is databases, either through tables or SQL, whatever could be the case, on the website. So you could get the access to the items, to the weapons, to the armor, to whatever you need to help you in this game. I don't want to be the one that says, oh, you forgot this, you forgot that. I want to make sure I give you everything that helps you out, but I'm not going to give you the story. That's my little disclaimer, okay? So databases will be coming to the website. Story details will not. The second thing I want to be frank with you guys is the business practices. I'm going to make this free to play. FTP, free to play. There is no pay to win. There is no microtransactions. There is, however, one of the NPCs is going to say donations are nice. That's up to you. That's not pay to play. That's not free pay to win. It's if you want to support my projects in the future, donations are appreciated. That is not that's not on the fault of like, oh, I told you it's free to play, then there's donations. It's appreciated. It's optional. Okay. Next thing I want to give you is something called a type of documentation. I actually have it done. I actually have it ready. I just have to add these new things I just added to the game. I'm not going to give it to you guys today because I haven't updated the things with the ones I just updated with the game. I want to make sure it's correlated. But the documentation is what to expect when playing the game, like how to play the game. Controls, mobile phone, keyboard, all that good stuff. Okay? Any shortcut keys you need to be aware of, or like any things that you might be wanting to learn about. I also explained some of the mechanics in the documentation. just like an instruction manual in a game you buy at the store. Except this one is online documentation, which you will get, by the way, with your download of the game. Next thing I'm going to provide is something called a damage calculator. Now I'm not going to give you a calculator. That would be too much for me. Instead, I'm going to give you guys an Excel worksheet. The Excel worksheet calculates everything automatically thanks to the number formulas. So remember I said about the damage formulas from earlier? All those formulas you talk about, you see in the editor, I'm gonna place them into the Excel worksheet. All you have to do is enter some information about the character you want to learn about in terms of the attack power, defense, all that good stuff, and boom, all the numbers that you need to know will be somewhere below for a character. I'm still thinking about if I want to do it for individual skills, but for all skills, there will be numbers. How much damage you're going to deal, how much healing you're going to play with, and because I did add the stat allocation mechanic from Meganfly, I'm going to also take that into consideration when it comes to the damage output or healing output of the damage formula. You will see two numbers when you get your final calculation. The first number is the low number, the low amount of damage with the formula, and that also includes the variance value, most likely 20%. So you add 20% and you subtract 20% from your base. Alright, so that's your range of damage that you're always going to do. Of course, if you level up, you better change those numbers. Alright, and that will be for every character. Hopefully that I can place it like that, okay? I'm gonna have to try to organize it in a way that's easier for you guys to handle. Okay? Remember, bullets and arrows do not count for damage calculation. They are currency. And finally, the website itself. I'm gonna give you guys update videos like I do on the YouTube channel, but I'm gonna bring it to the website. And for that game, I might put something in the front page, and I'm gonna put that in quotation marks. Front page of the game page, where I'm gonna give you guys a section for latest update video, but that is to be announced at this point. So we'll see what I'm going to be doing for that. Right? I'm also gonna give you an area to download the game and documentation should you need an extra copy, and it is a PDF file. Now, do not worry if you forget or you accidentally deleted a file, because if you download the game again, you're going to get the same documents. The damage formulas, the damage calculator, the documentation, and anything else that I might want to include, which includes custom music. By the way, that is going to happen. It's just that I'm going to work on one thing at a time first. Let's not get too excited, everyone. And then I'm going to try my best to include as much as I can toward the download of the game. And if you need extra copies, they are always going to be on the website if you need them, so that you guys can have fun with that. Now keep in mind the damage calculator will be updated when needed. So I'm going to try to put that in a so-called global area where there's going to be a section where there's downloads, and I'm going to put the latest version of that document. That's including the documentation I'm going to provide. Okay, so make sure you guys understand that. Next, I want to go ahead and present my present my closing thoughts about the 8-month period. I hope you guys enjoyed the update video from Tuesday, June 2nd. I mean June 2nd of this week. I saw that you guys enjoyed the thing, and I appreciate that. I do want to talk about these dates that I posted here on your right side of your screen. Um, June 22nd, July 4 to 10, and July 11 to 20. All of these are completely tentative at this point. I'm going to explain why each one is tentative right now. So June 22nd is going to be update video number 7. Now, next week, if you follow my game streaming channel, which is the Retro Yuki, it's by itself, I will be doing a charity event for 5 days. Check that out if you guys want to check that out. We'll be doing Feeding America. Now, how does this impact the game development? Because I'll be doing most likely update videos. I mean, game streaming videos every day next week. So I'm probably not have enough time to develop the game as much as I want. So right now, June 22nd is going to be your update video number 7, unless otherwise stated. July 4 to 10 right now is going to be a build release day, and it's going to be somewhere in that range. The reason why is because there is some things I want to adjust before I release the build to you guys. I know you've been waiting for like 8 months and all this good stuff, a year or so for build number 2. Build number 1 was released long time last year. But you have to appreciate the time that I'm trying to put into the game so that you guys can have a good experience. So July 4 to 10 is currently the best window for game build release. And remember, this is only the mechanic build. We haven't not even touched the main story yet. So yeah, July 4 to 10. And to make it a little bit more appetizing, if you will, I will actually be live streaming the mechanic build sometime in July 11 to 20th. Now, what do I mean by live streaming? I mean exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to live stream the game I'm developing for you guys, and I'm going to live stream in particular the mechanic build itself. Now, that is the only time I'm going to do this. Okay? I usually will not do this. But I think you guys are going to appreciate what I've been working on for the last year. Okay? I've been streaming on Twitch for like 2 years. But it is the first time I'm going to be live streaming on Twitch for a game that I'm developing, okay? I'm usually doing Diablo 3 or Tales of Graces. So yeah. So that is something very interesting and very special in July. If for some reason I get a lucky break and finish the build early, then I'm going to tell you guys on my social. Alright? So, just want to give you... Oh, and one more thing that's not listed. If there is such thing called early day play, I'm going to do it on June 24. What that is I'm going to give you a chance to play the game, to play the mechanic build early, but I'm not going to let you end the game early. Let me explain. So, I'm going to let you play the mechanic build as is on June 24. Here's the catch. I'm only going to let you play a certain part of it. Okay? Maybe to quest number 3. Then, that's it for your game, for your early play. Okay, so you're going to get an early access into the mechanic build, if you will, on June 24. Rules are as follows, though. The rules for this early day of play, if you will, are as follows. Number 1, you have to have a Game Jolt account because I will be doing the keys, game keys. Okay, when the website is open, I'm going to release some game keys for you guys to play with. If you are lucky enough to get a game key, congratulations. You just won yourself an early day of play of this mechanic build. Number 2, rule number 2. If you watch my live streams on Twitch, located to the bottom right corner of your screen, I am also doing a bit war. No, I can actually not a bit war, but a participation war, if you will. The more you participate in my live streams on my game streaming channel, I might reward you with a game key. Okay? Nobody on my game streaming channel has an idea yet. Only you guys have the idea. So make sure you guys check that out. My game streams, especially next week, because we're gonna be doing something special. The charity. So make sure you guys check that out. Rule number 3: game keys cannot be redistributed to other members of Game Jolt, because remember, that is for you and for you only. The public release of the mechanic build will be sometime between July 4 and 10. Alright, so make sure you follow those rules and I'll be very happy. Alright guys, that's going to be it for our talkie. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of a history lesson of the last mechanic build update video from 3 days ago. And I hope you appreciate what I've been doing for you guys, because I think you guys are going to enjoy. I think you guys are going to enjoy what you're about to play. Okay? By the way, just a few more things I want to talk. I want to mention about the social media, the thing I was talking about. I'm going to be posting a link in the description below of the main game development page that I'm going to use. It has changed. So make sure you guys understand that. The second thing I'm going to tell you about is that I might make a game development group page. Okay, now this page is specifically for all of you who want to have your game shown, if you will. That's because on my game streaming channel, I'm actually going to try to feature your game, just like I do with the other games I've been playing on live on Twitch. I am planning to give you a shot to have your game shown to everybody on the Twitch channel. I want to showcase your guys' game, because I think you guys deserve the spotlight as well. So I want to make sure you guys have that opportunity to have your game shown to everybody, and to make sure you have some exposure. Alright, I'm exposing my game out there for you guys. Now I want to expose your game for you. Okay? Make sure you have an equal opportunity, as much as I want to make it equal, okay? Then I'm going to be and the other one is the website coming soon. Hopefully by next week, assuming that I have the time. Alright? So, yeah, that's it. Have fun, enjoy, relax, enjoy the development videos, and our next plugin development update. Plugin update from Mug Hunter. Our first one is going to be coming up sometime soon. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Bye bye!